ready to go. I got another camera on the vertical stabilizer at the back. I'm gonna go turn it on now. And before I crank it up, that'd probably be a good idea. Yep, that's a tail boom, not a vertical stabilizer. I was going to add music to this section, but decided to talk it through. I wanted to talk about editors, people who edit for a living. This video you're seeing was captured from about 100 10-minute segments. It took a lot of coordination, searching, and deciding what goes where to begin, where to end. What you're about to see is what I'm talking about. I'm extending my selfie here. Now what I had to do was coordinate what it was looking at with me in the cockpit. Sounds easy, but when you're looking through 100 segments, it's not so easy. But it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing it. Like that bridge below, I had to search for it too. What's important here is to hang on to that selfie, because one lapse of attention, one slight loosening of the grip, and your selfie is gone into your propeller and you're on the ground somewhere. Here I am folding it up, stowing it away, fixing to aim it at the instrument panel to give you an idea of my speed, which right now I've got it slow. I'm at 700 feet and only doing 48 miles an hour. The Bluetooth between the camera on the back and the phone itself, I was losing contact with it all the time, and right now I was proud of myself because I'm showing it to the other camera and showing that I still had a connection. That's my selfie. I'm going to be using it up here on the beach in a minute. It's coming up right here. That's my selfie there, staring down at the beach, taking a good view of that. That's our old beach. It has deteriorated from 20 years ago. Those, well, you can't see the pine trees because you can't see them, but you'll see them in a minute. Al Gore was with me in Vietnam. I respect him for that. I don't know about his global warming, but he was in Vietnam. Now this is how the beach looked 20 years ago. These pine trees that are coming up were so far away from that particular picture you couldn't even see them. Now those pine trees are right on the edge of the water, which is not true of all Florida, but anyway, yeah, I got to be careful with all that stuff because that prop would really love to chew it up. I'm spinning down now. I'm going to go take a closer look, and I'm going to show you something interesting here. You see that? See that seat belt? Who did that? Yep, that's me. I had it happen on my trike, and it actually hit the propeller. That wasn't a lot of fun. I'm coming in on what's left of the beach now. And you see those little sand humps coming up? They're like concrete if you hit them. I could land there, but it would damage my gear. What we're driving over now, flying over, is the old beach. You can actually see the sand. Now up in here, this is just south of the beach I just left, and I was turning up this canal or creek, whatever, in Louisiana. It's called a bayou. And what happened was I did this particular pass twice because I wanted to make sure it came out right. But on my second pass, I turned into the wrong canal. And ahead of me, I mean right ahead of me, was a line of trees I had to add full power to go up. This is Bottoms Road on a less than busy weekend. In fact, it's a lot like this all the time. Panacea is to the west about 2 or 3 miles. That's Shell Point, Florida. Real nice, kind of a resort area, you might say. I always wave to boaters because I'm at 50 feet right over the water. I got about a 4-mile trek. This particular scene, I thought the camera was on the left, and of course you can see it was on the right. So it didn't turn out so good, but you get the idea. I had a nice sunset to look at. Coming back, yeah, fix the seatbelt, stupid. I want you to see the Environmental Protection Agency. Now, we can't use this ramp because it's too rough, and airplanes taxiing over it have to be careful they don't hit their propellers against the concrete. So I'm hoping President Trump will fix some of these excessive agencies that we got no use for. Yep, my Bluetooth just lost connection again. Up front in the Drifter, you're sitting up high enough to where your vision doesn't see the instrument panel. All you see is the earth and sky around you. Right here I'm looking for a particular cloud. It has to have a certain shape for what I plan to do. And you learn this just over time. But right here I'm right at the tip top of it, and chop the power a bit and slide down the other side. At this point I'll make a hard left, and right now I'm looking for a valley to fly through. There should be one coming up ahead. Yep, there's one right there. Then I'm gonna head right into a little spot. I just rip and roll down the back side of it. I'm on the northwest side right now, continuing to lose altitude as I descend down and around the cloud. Just really, really unbelievable stuff, at least to me anyway. Trying to look at my altimeter. Looks like around 3,700 feet. And I say one last goodbye to my cloud. It served me well. It was real smooth cloud. Some of these clouds will really knock you silly, but that one was an easy one. I'm headed back toward Ocklackney Bay now. You can see the bridge below. I got another cloud spotted, but it doesn't look as promising as the one I just left. We'll see what happens as I get closer. Now I could climb up above it, but I decided just to penetrate it. It's not much to it, and it'll fog up the lens, so I had to cut that scene out. Now I'm going around the side of it to see if there's any valleys in it like the other cloud had, and there's not, so I decided to do a little stall spin. This thing will not spin. It'll turn about half a spin and pull itself out. There goes my cloud, and I'm just doing a steep turn, losing some altitude. There's beautiful Ocklackney Bay down below. I just reached up and turned my motor off. Looks like I still have about 2,100 feet on the altimeter. Cruising along the last bit of clouds. I'm looking for my old friend Artie's house. He's from up there in New Hampshire. He's freezing right now. He just left March 29th, I think. And making one more turn around the bay. I didn't spot Artie outside, so I'm going to head over toward the airport. Now I reach up and I hit the ignition key and no response. Guess what? I forgot to turn the master on. The master, you'll see me here hit the switch. There I go. I hit the master switch right there, and I still try to crank it, but it won't crank. Why? Because I got a bad solenoid. So it's no big deal. You know, any pilot can tell you, as long as you got a place to land under you without mountains, hills, or trees, it's no problem. You just have to commit to a no power landing, and don't depend on getting the engine started. But I continue to try because I got the runway right in front of me now. And what'll happen too is your controls will get sloppy if you haven't ever done it before, because you don't have any power. So you just get extra airspeed and get ready for the flare and stop messing with the starter as you get closer to the ground and just do a normal landing. There's nothing to it. This thing approaches at about 45 to 50 miles an hour, but you'd be surprised how it eats up the runway. This is our bird sanctuary at Alligator Point. I never land here because it's a sanctuary. And our St. Mark's Lighthouse. Little St. George Island and the lighthouse that used to be there before it fell over. This airboat was so loud, I thought my engine was coming apart. This nice lady took my picture. This is John's Island between Shell Point and Panacea. That long strip of sand, I just had to land there and almost got stuck. This is two fishermen on a warm spring day out fishing with their coolers up on the tip of the oyster bar. They have a lot of Confederate salt work still out there from 1865. It's amazing to walk among these ruins and see all this. This salt boiler was cracked by Union forces using sledgehammers. The metal was brittle like the Titanic. Coming up is our beautiful beach as it once was. I'm coming in now on my trike with a Florida State girl. She had the most beautiful straw blonde hair of any girl I've ever photographed. Just a really pretty, highly intelligent, and brave girl for flying with me. I'd never done aerobatics with 52 horsepower before. I had another drifter that had 65 and it did it at 85. I tried my first one here at 95 and barely got over the top. I went light in the seat belt caught me. The second one I did it at 110 and redline's 75, but I knew a drifter and I knew it could take that extra airspeed, and it did.
his last day of freedom. Have you got a few words to say?
Fuck it. That's what I'm gonna say. Fuck it.
Dog Island at top left was our destination for today. Needless to say, we didn't make it. Mike and I have been friends for a long time. We've been through a lot together. He's a hard luck pilot, not a bad pilot, just
I got it on tape.
has a lot of hard luck.
I'm coming.
Every time I see this, I laugh.
I had to film that shit.
Oh man.
Every time.
He don't read the salt water. Okay, I thought you were going to get out of it and you know, just walk it around.
I know.
I picked him up off of bloody beaches. I have a camera on him every time he lands and takes off. You never know what you're going to get.
He's not going to try and turn that shit, is he? Yeah, I see what I'm saying though. It might, by the time it gets to where it wants to rain, it might pass over us. You understand what I'm saying? It might be over here. The shit's coming out of the south. The only problem is, if it's coming out of the south, there's probably more shit behind it.
Yeah, it looks like there's no shortage of the shit in the air.
Yeah.
But it's gonna fly like shit, you know that?
Standing around, screwing with my camera, and the wind blew the wing over and bent the main, keel? That's a keel, huh? It looks like it's getting worse. Just sitting here.
It does.
It does. Anyway, we're going to try and, Mike said he'd try and fly it out of here. So we're going to do that. All right. There goes Bill in a crippled trike. Crinkle. Absolutely unairworthy. I'm not happy about this.
Make sure my truck doesn't blow over.
If that bent keel collapses, I'm dead or severely injured. This first run was a test run just to see if it would hold together at a high speed. I forgot to tell Mike.
No way. This is not going to work.
My thinking was, if I fly low, about 10 feet off the ground, and the keel collapses, maybe I'll just injure myself instead of killing myself. That's also called wishful thinking, or whistling through the graveyard. I also thought that keel was double sleeved. It was not. Caught some really vicious turbulence right where you see that rough water right there. Scared me. Yep, it happens sometimes. Had a piston get hot, flying too low. Should have known better. Had no other place to land. After about, what do you think, 2 hours, Randy?
Yeah.
We got the wings off.
Motor's loose.
Tide's coming up. Cockpit's about 80% underwater. And but the instrument panel's still good. We're going to take the motor off next. And you need me? You still need me?
Yeah.
I was taking pictures.
This one wants to move.
Yeah.
I got a front instrument.
We're up to our ass in alligators, literally.